Hey everybody, it's me, Crude. You know, the guy who has a huge fucking list of wrongdoings. But right now, we're not going to be talking about that, but rather another drama that's been starting to pick up more steam. The Dream Corps drama. For those who don't know who is Dream Corps or Drenko, he is a really good friend of mine and a notorious member in the Caretaker fandom. There are two videos done by Drenko that try to explain the drama, but if you don't want to read shit and want to hear it in English, then watch this video, I guess. This video is not meant to provoke drama, but rather to document everything and give out more information for those who aren't aware of what happened. This all started in December 2020 when he was 15 years old, not 20, and he met a user who had a particular liking to the Caretakers everywhere at the end of time, and got him into the fandom. After multiple conversations about the subject of the Caretaker fandom, the user, known as Slox or X-Lox, then realized that Drenko was opened to NSFW commissions. Slox then requested Drenko to draw NSFW out of his Sona. Although Drenko was excited to accept the offer, he made one very vital mistake that any NSFW artist can make: asking the age of the character. Because as an NSFW artist, it is your responsibility to know the ages of those you associate with, which is something Drenko did not know at the time. And it was already too late for Drenko to realize that he essentially drew CP of a 12-year-old, as they were lying about being 20 years old, equally to how Drenko was also lying about themselves being an adult. Months and months has passed by, and the two have not really talked in a long while. Zlox, on the other hand, was being harassed and groomed by someone else known as Eggs for Eggs in an ERP server that got many like Walter Bennett and Turles investigating on what was happening. And as this all transpired, Drenko then found out the ugly truth that Slox, his friend, was much younger than him and 12 years old, which then got him banned from the Caretaker community. And it was genuinely awful, since people began to accuse Drenko as a pedophile. And Drenko had no real way of defending himself at the time. And what even makes it worse is that he also lost his old Discord account, so there would be really no way for him to defend himself into not being called a pedophile by many people. This eventually made Drenko so fucked up from the situation, he then opened up in a GC with Fortes, Charles, and many others that he would be ban evading in many Caretaker servers. I won't be naming anyone who was aware or supportive of the ban evasion, since the only known members are me, Fortes, Turles, and Besodify. But anyways, eventually Drenko undercover began to lie that he was basically Drenko's IRL's friend as Polrum, and people began to really believe the lies, and eventually Drenko made a second personality, and nobody even knew that this was a wolves in sheep's clothing situation. Or a demon in a frog's clothing, I should say. And as Polrum began to become into a very respected member in the fandom, one of the people mentioned earlier, Fortes, aka my ex, was an owner of a ban evasion hideout group chat, but wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, metaphorically speaking. He grew more demanding and unhinged over time, blackmailing Savo, Besodify, and especially me, that if we don't unanimously agree with him on something petty or even participate with him on wanting to do something, then he would expose Polrum, and it was kind of a common occurrence at the time. Eventually on May 6, 2023, I and Fortes got banned in FP Cord because of Fortes manipulating me to ERP with him in the group chat VC in front of Besodify, who was 11 years old at the time, while Fortes was also moaning,
"Shut your trap and slob on my cracker cock!"
Eventually, this got Fortes extremely upset to the point that he loses shit and reports to Mr. Mister, a well-known Caretaker moderator, that Polrum, who everyone thought was an IRL friend of Drenko's, was actually Drenko undercover for so many months. And when people found out in the fandom, they were either really hurt from the news or surprised. A month after this all happened, eventually everyone grew really uncomfortable with Drenko and started banning him and blacklisting him from a bunch of servers. And Potato, who you remember, perpetuated rumors of Drenko being a pedophile, dogpiled me in one of 158's album servers in an unrelated situation from Dream Corps, making a statement that Drenko tried to groom him after he got banned. And although I didn't really thought about this at first, I then asked him what happened, and it was all nothing but a load of bullshit gossip to so many people. Which is how the second response video made by Drenko, as mentioned earlier, got made. And as the allegations begin to be proven false, Potato then goes on a rant of how Drenko has a history of grooming every single one of his friends that are underage, which is an insanely reprehensive lie to be made and doesn't really have that much supporting evidence to confirm so. All of Drenko's mutuals, me, Nausea Deli, Fortes, Sakar, etc., are not groomed victims. And he never even took advantage of me to date with him. That was my doing and not his. And it was just like a stupid conversation back then. I don't even fucking know, dude. One thing's for certain, these people, especially like Potato, exaggerate everything and lie a lot. Like how the motherfucker straight up lied about me ERPing with a 12-year-old, which is so fucking retarded. And this wildfire that Potato has spread in his fandom has turned itself into a case of broken telephone, where Potato and others lie about the same shit repeatedly until the context entirely degrades itself into nothingness. And to be fair with a lot of people, I am strongly against the various false allegations of Drenko being a groomer. I know what he did about 2 years back was really wrong, but I want to make it crystal clear that he was immature at the time and didn't know any better, which is a belief I will continue sticking on. And if anyone tries to say that he is in his early 20s, here's a screenshot of his license proving otherwise. The way I see Drenko is that he is not entirely innocent or even a predator for that matter. The way I see him is that he is just really desensitized to really mature content and just irresponsible. But not to the extent that he can't keep his pants around 12. Oh my fucking god. And just by reevaluating the situation and Potato's side of it, what will Potato achieve from this? To drag someone's reputation down to the rock bottom? He doesn't even know the definition of the words that are coming out of his fucking mouth, like pedophile as a prominent example. Drenko wasn't even an adult when the Dreamcore drama transpired, and just thinking about the idea of someone underage being a pedophile is absurd and definitionally inaccurate. Which furthermore proves what I stated earlier, that Drenko never did anything serious to me and others as well. There are no shenanigans behind the scenes. This scheme of accusations of harassment made by Potato has just been stretched out way too far now. And he also never did anything wrong to the members in the Polrum Band Evasion Initiative GC as well. And Drenko never even got Fortis and I to ERP together in a VC which had a witness of a 12-year-old. What the genuine fuck is wrong with you, Potato? I know there may be some unrelated points with Drenko that I had missed, but I think I got 90% of this case exempted and explained properly. And as I mentioned earlier on in the start of this video is meant to document everything and do my best to disprove Drenko's mislabeled sexual predator. If it wasn't surprising enough, by the time I'm recording this, he is now a legal adult in where he lives in Argentina. And there will most certainly be people going after him and me for defending him. And just being honest, I have been humiliated and victimized for even being friends with Drenko for so long now that I don't even know if I should feel insulted. Because all I'm just going to be hearing from these people are just nothing but blabbering and lies. And as Dreamcore once said in one of his videos, there's nothing much you can do but rather wait until karma completely falls back on them. So now, we're going to be waiting.